Welcome back to Toxic Waste of Time. Today we're talking about parasocial relationships, which I thought I'd never heard of. I guess I'd just never heard the word parasocial before, but I am familiar with this concept. I gotta say, I said wow more researching this than any other topic. And that's saying a lot considering some of our season 1 topics.
Yeah, for real. We're going to spin the wheel of weird relationships.
Katie, spin that wheel.
Ivy, what's your relationship to Christmas?
Grr.
That is not what I expected you to say.
Really?
I thought you'd be a Christmas girly.
No, I'm a Halloween girly. So Christmas is fine. Christmas is fine. What I do like about Christmas is being with my family.
Mm-hmm.
I have a grandchild now, so of course I love the whole Christmas morning. What I don't like about Christmas is Santa Claus. Santa Claus pisses me off so much. I think that lying to your children is horrible, disgusting, awful. When I was a little girl, I got in trouble because I said, well, there is no damn Santa Claus to a neighbor because I told her son that there was no Santa Claus. My mom didn't like Santa Claus. My house didn't really have the whole, this is from Santa Claus, this is from us. My husband required that I shut the fuck up when we had kids. And so I did. He did the whole Santa Claus thing.
Yeah.
Our kids didn't really care that much about Santa Claus for very long, so that was fine, but I never ruined it for anybody ever again.
God, Ivy.
I just don't like it. I don't think, like, why? Why are you giving credit to some dude telling your kids that I don't understand it. Maybe I'm a fuddy-duddy. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like Santa Claus. I don't like Christmas. I don't like the Christmas decorations, like, interfering with Halloween season.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I went to Cracker Barrel once and expected Halloween season, and it was like September, and they already had Christmas in there.
Yeah, but we don't judge things based on what Cracker Barrel is doing.
No, but Cracker Barrel did always have Halloween before Christmas like normal people. Like, you can have your fucking Christmas. The whole, there's a war on Christmas. No, there's not. Get over it. It was never a Christian holiday to begin with. They stole it like everything else.
Damn straight.
So let me tell you, yeah, I have a fucking toxic relationship with Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
It's toxic. You don't even have to ask me the questions. It's toxic.
All right. Well, I am surprised by that. I don't know. I just kind of figured you would enjoy the traditions and stuff, but that's fine.
I don't not enjoy the traditions and stuff. I don't enjoy all the people who enjoy them too much.
That's fair. I think there are definitely people that have a toxic positive relationship with Christmas. Like, they're just too into Christmas.
Yeah. And I'm going to say Merry Christmas. I'm not like, you can't say Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm not, the whole, like I said, war on Christmas is the dumbest thing ever. It's not real.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my relationship with Christmas is different than that. I, too, consider myself a Halloween girly. I have been quoted as saying that Halloween is theater Christmas. Halloween is the biggest holiday of the theater kid calendar. Okay. Because you get to dress up as something. Mm-hmm. And you might be acting in a haunted house or something, and it's totally dope. Getting to wear cool makeup and fake blood. Hell yes. I love
wigs.
Yes, I love all of that. Mm-hmm. But by comparison, I still love Christmas. I love Christmas more now than I used to because my husband's birthday is Christmas Eve. And so he has always loved Christmas. Like, when he was born, at the hospital, they put him in a stocking and gave him to his mother as a
Well,
newborn.
that is adorable.
So that's just fucking adorable. Like, who's not going to love Christmas after that, right? I love the traditions of it. I love making sugar cookies. I love the decorations. I do. I do not love putting them away, you know? I do not love you know what's toxic for me about Christmas? The expectation of giving every human being that you've ever fucking met in your life a little gift.
Yeah, no, we stopped that years ago.
I don't have the money or the time for that.
Yeah.
And when I was a teacher, it was like I would get Christmas presents from a lot of my students, which was adorable, but I couldn't afford to give them anything back, you know.
Yeah, but teachers don't have to.
Teachers don't always have to, but the other teachers would give us presents and stuff sometimes too, and I'd be like, this is awkward, you know. That, to me, is a little toxic about Christmas. I don't care about Santa Claus. I was an only child, so when I got tired of Santa Claus, it was, like, sad for everyone in my family. Because I think that my parents and my grandparents really enjoyed doing the Santa thing. Okay. And, you know, they kind of spoiled me because I was an only child and an only grandchild. So Christmas for me
But they can
as a
spoil
kid,
you and not give the credit to some man.
right?
It's a little creepy. The whole Santa Claus, it's
kids.
creepy.
Yeah, so I don't have an opinion about whether or not you should tell your kids about Santa Claus or not. But for me, as a little kid, I liked believing in the magic of it, but I caught on pretty quick when I saw that the card from Santa was written in my grandmother's handwriting, you know? I guess I was just too smart for it. But my mom had this thing where she told me that if you stop believing in Santa, that's when he stops coming. And I was like, well, I don't want to stop being spoiled.
Well, that's another lie that people tell their children.
So she maintains to this day that the reason that Santa Claus stopped coming is because I stopped believing in him. And I'm like, Mom, I am 42 years old. All right. Well, that was a little bit of a tangent, but that's okay. I enjoyed that. Surprising answers.
It's fun.
I think I have some toxic aspects in my relationship to Christmas, but Ivy has just a straight up toxic relationship to Christmas. Like
I do have a toxic
loves you and you don't love her back.
Well, it's codependent though, because there are some things that I do like about Christmas.
Yeah.
We do naked Christmas present wrapping.
Oh.
Yeah. I just got told.
Tell me about this.
Well,
this is turning into a whole episode.
We wrap our Christmas presents naked.
Hell yeah, bitch.
It started because the kids would not stop coming out of their rooms.
So your solution was like, if you come out of your room, you're going to see Mom's ass.
Mommy's naked fixed that. It fixed the problem. They were like not going anywhere near the living room. Children do not live here.
Absolute genius.
Children do not live in our house. I still wrap Christmas presents Christmas Eve naked.
I am so happy for you.
My mother had a fit about it this last week when I went and visited her.
Your mother has a fit about it.
She was like, you wrap Christmas presents naked. So the fuck what?
I'm a grown-ass woman.
I'm allowed. My husband likes it.
You heard it here, listeners. If you want your kids to stay out of the room when you're wrapping Christmas presents, we got a solution, but you're not going to like it.
Tell them you're naked.
Or maybe you'll love it. I don't know, but you're going to have to shut your blinds.
Somebody once made a comment about, oh, great, you've got tape and scissors and you're naked.
Just got to be real careful. No eggnog. No eggnog in this situation. All right. Beautiful. What a wonderful icebreaker. We should make sure to put that on whatever episode comes out in December.
Okay.
We'll just make this episode come out in December. Anyway.
It might anyway.
It might by the time we get this shit done. I swear to God.
Thanks for suggesting this, Katie. I read actual papers and theses and stuff, so I'm smart now.
Well, you've always been smart. But if you enjoyed reading clinical research, then I fear you might be a nerd.
Oh.
So welcome to the club, Ivy.
Yeah, you don't tell a Gen Xer she's a nerd.
We've reclaimed that term.
I know, my son told me.
Yes, I give the credit to Napoleon Dynamite.
Me too.
He made nerds cool again.
Although,
and yeah.
Did my son tell me before or after Napoleon Dynamite that nerds are not what they were when I was in school?
I don't know.
Oh, well. Anyway.
Let's message him and see.
Well, he won't answer me. He's a millennial man.
He's doing nerd shit.
And when he does answer me, it's going to be in 7 separate text messages, with each thought.
It's because we cut our teeth on AOL Instant Messenger, where you could just type a sentence and type a sentence and type a sentence. You know, that's how we think.
Well, it's like bam, 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 bam. I'm like, you're if you're typing that fast, it can be one paragraph. Anyway, so in 1956, Donald Horton and Richard Wall, both sociologists, coined the term parasocial interaction and wrote a paper called Mass Communication and Parasocial Interaction Observations on Intimacy at a Distance.
Intimacy at a distance. So in a nutshell, they found that people started seeing these faces on their TVs and in their homes, and they began to feel a sense of kinship with them, like a one-sided, sometimes stalker-esque kinship, but still a kinship, nonetheless.
So there's this chart here, Katie, that was on one of the papers, and I was so happy because the paper was long and broken up into sections and stuff. So, parasocial relationship. A parasocial relationship is a unidirectional imaginary relationship between a media user and media personality. The term parasocial relationship was first used by Horton and Wall in 1956. Horton and Wall remark on the profound impact that mass media has on viewers. Quote, "One of the striking characteristics of new mass media, radio and television and the movies, is they give the illusion of face-to-face relationship with the performer." And as an example, you can tell that this was written in 1956. The example is the Beatles. Through their the Beatles, they were this group. They were led by anyway. Through their mass-produced music, the Beatles had obsessive fans who knew the ins and outs of the lives of each member to an almost creepy degree. I did the same thing with Duran Duran.
Really?
The band members were swamped with adoring fans at airports and outside their hotels. I did not do that with Duran Duran, which led them to needing security wherever they went.
Yes, and that helpful chart was from helpfulprofessor.com, which sounds like a cute website I need to check out. Yeah, so the Beatles and Beatlemania was one of the first parasocial relationships that they kind of clocked as being this.
Wasn't Elvis
I'm sure that it happened before that.
Then, though?
Elvis absolutely was, yes. My mom and my grandmother were both Elvis fans, and my mom was a Beatles fan, and I was an NSYNC fan, so...
I can't stand Elvis or the Beatles.
What? Why?
I also don't like the Rolling Stones, if I'm going on record.
That's fine.
With
the
who
Rolling
I don't
Stones
like.
they're all right.
I absolutely have respect for the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Not so much for Elvis, but...
Elvis, I can't get behind 100%. Love his music. Love his voice.
I cannot stand
his choices
his
in
voice.
life. Nah. What? That is so strange to me.
So my dad at church, when they had to stand up and sing, my dad would do this thing where he pulled his chin all the way back and made his voice as deep as he could. And that's what Elvis reminded me of, and I couldn't tolerate it.
Okay. Okay. So you have an association with it.
I guess. I thought he was smarmy.
I mean, that's fair. He kind of was.
Yeah.
He also groomed his wife.
Absolutely. I mean,
so we're just going to leave that there.
So did Prince, and I still
love
Prince.
So did most people. Well, I don't know about most people, but it was a lot more socially acceptable at the time.
Oh, yeah.
But still, not cool. Not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So So emphasis on the imaginary part of these parasocial relationships, right? This is a one-sided relationship, and it's very common in adolescence, as we have kind of picked up on this, like, teeny bopper, Beatlemania, NSYNC fan, whatever, BTS fans. Oh, don't come for me, BTS fans.
Yeah, Durannies. Durannies unite.
Durannies
unite, yeah.
All right. So fast forward to a much more vast sea of not just celebrities, but also social media influencers and famous people having social media. So people actually think they are interacting.
One time I responded to a post from Reba. And she liked my comment. And I was like, well,
oh my God.
I screenshotted it, sent it to John. I'm not even a fan, really, of Reba. I did love her TV show. And I think she's kind of a pretty rad human. But I'm not a fan of Reba. You know what I mean? So imagine if that was like Simon Le Bon or Madonna. Can't get them to like anything.
So now we have YouTubers, vloggers, content creators, and I'm sure OnlyFans models deal with people who think they're in love or in a relationship with them all the time. Podcasters, too, etc. I mean, I know Ivy and I are just constantly overrun with crazy fans who are obsessed with us in our everyday life. Like, I just can't get rid of them.
Yeah, fan mail, out the yang. I know.
I mean, yeah. Oh, it's exhausting. We're joking, obviously. Please send us emails.
Yes, send us emails.
Let us know we've been seen.
Yes, please. I read an article about OnlyFans models and parasocial relationships. It was kind of a lame article because it kind of acted like the creators were just like singing songs and playing their guitar. Like it was so cheese ball. But it did talk about how they do this thing that other influencers do. They go live.
Yeah.
And that when they go live, the people who feel like they're in a relationship with them sort of overtake the conversation. Later on, I believe there's a story about a young man who actually snuck into one of their houses, but it turned out that OnlyFans model actually gave him her address because he was going to give her a TV or something. So don't do that.
Don't do that.
Because let me tell you, if you have fans and the fans are excited that you are giving them even a little bit of your time, do not give them your address.
We read articles and biographies and autobiographies. We follow them on social media, and sometimes we start to believe we know them. You can have a parasocial relationship with almost anyone, including a character from a TV show or a movie. And this is something I know a little bit about because fan fiction, as we mentioned earlier, is a thing that some of my friends are really into. And no judgment whatsoever, but like that is a whole world.
Is that where you like write stories about the people that you are fans of?
It can be. So, super embarrassing thing about me. Well, the second part is the embarrassing part. I was a huge fan of the band Hanson. Do you remember them?
Yes.
Bop Badooba
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Taylor. Taylor was the cute
Taylor
one.
was the dreamy one.
Yeah.
Yes. He was cute. So I had a huge crush on him. And I wrote a fan fiction story about like meeting him and falling in love with him.
Oh, that's adorable.
When I was like, however old I was, 14 or something.
Oh.
So somewhere on the internet, the internet is forever, y'all.
Yeah. And also,
but
at least
that would be an example.
He was probably at least closer to your age than the ones.
He was, he's
I was
going
to marry Simon Le Bon, who is about 10 years older than me, which isn't a big deal now. But when I was 13 and he was 23, would have been weird. But so my favorite, did you watch Friends?
Yeah.
Do you know this episode that I'm gonna talk about? It has lived
I'm a big Friends fan.
Rent-free in my brain. I love Brooke Shields. And and so the episode was season 2, episode 13, and it was called The One After the Super Bowl Part 1. And Brooke Shields played Erica Ford. And just a side note, she was married to Andre Agassi at the time. And this episode sent him into a rage where he was throwing her Emmys and his trophies and stuff all over the house. Her doing this episode, according to the article I read on the internet, made him go apeshit bananas. But anyway.
Does he not understand what an actress is?
Well, this whole episode is about being delusional about that kind of thing. Yeah. But she played Erica Ford, who was an obsessive fan of Joey's character on Days of Our Lives, Dr. Drake Ramore. And I will never forget her sitting at the table. They were out to eat, probably at the coffee shop. And he thought that they were out on a date. She thought he was Drake Ramore, and she was over the top, exaggerating, acting, and like I loved that episode. And I'm not even a huge fan of Friends, but I've seen them all. But no, that one cracked me up.
Great example. I already mentioned one potential parasocial relationship that I experienced as a teen. Tell me about some of yours, Ivy.
Well, as a kid, I was obsessed with Duran Duran, specifically Simon Le Bon. He is still to this day my favorite. But also there was Madonna and George Michael. Loved reading about Madonna and Duran Duran, though. I remember sitting with like I was in school. I took notes. Like I would have little books about Duran Duran or magazine articles, and I would like take notes. Like I was making sure I knew. I don't know any of this stuff anymore, but I still have books and stuff. Like anything Duran Duran, I'm gonna buy it. Madonna, not as much, but still would call myself a huge fan. And George Michael, I just love him. I don't really feel like I have a parasocial relationship with him that much. I can say lately, since we've been watching reality TV shows, particularly Love Island, I want to mom every one of those people. I have invented a new cast member for the show, which would be a house mom.
Oh, yeah, that's what they need.
It doesn't need to necessarily be me, but it could be me if the producers...
It should totally be you.
The producers are listening. They need Mrs. H just up on a balcony, not down there
bikini.
with them. In a bikini's fine. I'll wear a bikini. I'll even pull it up my ass like those girls do if it'll just make them listen to me.
I feel that way, too, about reality TV sometimes. But I don't want to be their mom. I want to be like their good boss who motivates them. Like when I was watching Below Deck.
Yeah.
All the Below Deck. I felt like that too, where I would just be like, that is not what you should do as the manager. Or I would be like, no, you have to motivate them. And like, it's not good organization. I just wanted to like be in their business. But I guess it was more about like being emotionally involved. It wasn't about any particular person on the show. Well, but I have experienced some of these.
The ones that I like the most, after the very last episode when you have a winner, right? I am immediately Googling who stayed together. I am immediately following the ones that I really particularly wanted to mom. And then I'll delete them as they bore me. But there's this one couple, Jesse and Will, and they have a podcast. They're still together.
Oh,
they
cool.
have a podcast, and I listen to it. And I'll sit down at dinner and tell my husband just things about former cast members that Will and Jesse told me. And he's like, who are you talking about?
I have barely begun to experience this on my social media because I did that one audiobook series from Blood and Ash that has gone kind of viral. And sometimes I'll get messages from listeners who will tell me how much they love the audiobook. And I'll just kind of politely say something nice back to them like, oh, I'm glad you liked it. And thanks for saying hi.
That's cool. You have fans.
And it's so weird. And they always act like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you responded to me. And I'm like, girl, I'm not like a big deal. I'm just a lady, And so, I even have other audiobook narrator friends that have acted like that towards me too. Like I kind of made friends with this one author/narrator friend. And when she found out that I did Blood and Ash, she was like, oh my gosh, like starstruck about it. And I was like, girl, like we were just having a normal conversation.
Nice.
So that's weird. But in a good way,
Yeah.
I guess. It doesn't bother me. It's just sort of like every time it happens, I'm like, whoa, okay. Also, parasocial relationships, like I'm a Swiftie now.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some serious fans.
And they're young,
love Swifties.
too, right? Aren't they? I mean, they're not all young, but doesn't she
a lot
have
of them have
young?
been fans. I mean, she has fans of all ages. Like,
I guess
a lot of the women I know that are big fans of her are like my age, maybe a little younger, but like there's moms and grandmas that are fans of her.
Well, I just realized as I was speaking that she's been around for so long.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Britney Spears when her original fans, they were young kids, teeny boppers or whatever. I remember her having to say, I'm not out here trying to be an influence on your kids, because moms were like, she's a bad influence. And she was like, so?
Not
you influence your kids.
If you don't like it, you have this button where you can turn the TV off.
Mm-hmm. Well, Taylor Swift, I think, is a good influence.
I agree. Mm-hmm. I really like her. And I didn't, I never, she never bothered me, but I wasn't, a huge fan of her music specifically until more recently. About 2020 is when I started to care.
I think she's a phenomenal songwriter.
She's incredible.
Her lyrics are so good. I like Taylor Swift.
Some of the best lyrics ever.
I agree.
I have a Taylor Swift sticker. I have 2 Taylor Swift stickers on my water bottle that I'll show you. This one says, "My energy is expensive." Mm-hmm. And this one says, "It's me. Hi, I'm the problem."
I love that.
But Taylor Swift is an example of people that feel like they have a parasocial relationship because they get so involved in thinking everything's an Easter egg that she's sent them a little, clue about something going on. And on the podcast that she did with Travis Kelce, she explained, y'all, it's never going to be about my person. It's never going to be personal life stuff. It's only ever going to be music and related to music, and that's it. And that was good of her to clarify. She said a lot of cool things on that podcast.
Yeah, I heard a couple of things. I am a fan of a group called In This Moment. It's a metal band with a gorgeous, voluptuous blonde singer. And I have been a little bit turned off by her fan base. And it's because of this. It's and it's also, first of all, they're feeding an ego, and the band has changed since she became Mother Maria, and it's become the Maria show. And I had to leave a couple of groups that I was in online, like on Facebook or whatever, because the fans, I'm so tired of fans being like, "Oh, you saved my life. If it wasn't for you and your music." And I'm like, you don't know her. They'll come on and they'll write her a full-blown letter on a fan page, and people are commenting, she doesn't come here. She's not listening. She's not reading this. That's a little, I think that's it's a little weird. That's the annoying part of parasocial relationships. And it also, if you're not careful, it'll give you a big old head.
Yes, for sure. Mm-hmm. So the reason I suggested this topic, and it came back to me, was the documentary about Eminem and his fans. Right. It's called Stan. Mm-hmm. And
we talked about
of course,
that
he
briefly
did that song
because I told you that if I had a hall pass, it would be him.
I mean, you could do worse, honey. I don't mind him now, but at the time that he was first coming out, I was really just offended by everything he was saying. And I was like, ew, this is, no, thank you. Mm-hmm. But he did have this whole thing about his crazy fan, Stan, who may or may not have been a real person, who wrote him letters and was like, "You saved my life, and it's because of you that I'm still here." Mm-hmm. And then the fan ends up making disastrous decisions, etc. So that's kind of what prompted me to ask us about doing this topic.
Was his disastrous decisions, was that was he threatening Eminem, or was he...
No, I don't know if this was a real person, again. Okay. But in the music video, he's played by Devon Sawa, who... dreamy. He drives his car off a bridge at the end of the song. Oh. And his pregnant girlfriend's in the back seat. Oh. It's fucked. Yeah. Because he's angry that Eminem hasn't answered his mail. And he's like,
so it does come back to him being a crazy fan.
So, that was the thing. That documentary is really interesting if you ever want to check that out. Highly recommend.
I didn't know it
it's
existed.
On Paramount Plus. Yeah, I didn't either, but we have Paramount Plus now, so I checked it out.
Yeah.
Also, I think also on Paramount Plus, there's another docu-series that's called Thirst Trap. And it is featuring my friend and author, Emily Belmont, who I have invited to come on the podcast, and we'll see if that happens.
Okay.
But basically, this is a story about a influencer who was like a very cute young man. I feel like he was early 20s. And he did these lip syncing videos with older songs.
Okay.
So he was kind of like cougar bait. Like he was attracting these older women who were into him. And these fans of his started getting really possessive and weird. You know, they would send him money and stuff. And even go to his mom's house, because he still lived with his mom, girl. And they would send him presents and stalk him in public and all kinds of crazy shit. And then some drama went down amongst the fans because he hooked up with one of those fans. And she wrote a book.
Oh.
And she's the one that I like connected with. And she's a cool lady.
You know, I looked when I was doing this research. One of the things that I looked was famous people who married fans. And I didn't find anything of any substance. Like there was like a list of people, but they were famous also. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I like your work, but also we run in the same circles.
Well, Taylor Swift's about to be a celebrity who married a fan.
Right. But also, he's also... Again,
he's like
still running in the same circles. Yeah. It's not like me being like,
not just
I'm
normie.
I'm going to fly over to Great Britain and see if I can run into Simon Le Bon. Whatever. That's not normal. But the closest one is Justin Bieber, because his wife is the Baldwin's daughter, one of the Baldwin's, Stephen, I think, daughter.
Okay.
I could be wrong about which Baldwin brother her dad is, but she was a fan of Justin Bieber, and the dad met Justin Bieber at a thing, and she was like a little girl standing next to him, and Justin was a teenager, so it's not like he was a grown man. He was like, it was when he was spanking new, so like 13, 14 years old when he first came out.
That's a little less weird.
And the Baldwin brother was like, this is my daughter. She really likes you. Here's a video of something or whatever, a skateboard video or something they wanted to give him. And years later is when he actually met her.
So it's kind of just a coincidence.
That was a coincidence, but she was a fan of his when she was a little girl. And then there was the infamous Katie Holmes, Tom Cruise, where she had posters of him in her bedroom. And then he did whatever it is that he did to convince her that she should have his child. Because no one should have Tom Cruise's child, just saying.
Too late. It's too late for that.
That
one is weird. That one, look, I don't know, but when there's an age gap like that, it gets a little weird to me.
Yeah. And I thought it was cute. I saw The Atlantic said, parasocial relationships are imaginary friends for adults.
Yeah. That's about right.
That's cute.
I like that. Well, I think we all need to remember the proverb, never meet your heroes, which suggests that meeting someone you greatly admire might lead to disappointment, which it might.
Well, yeah.
I have a story about that, actually.
Think they're superhuman.
Yeah. Often our perception of famous people is based on their public image, not their true selves, which their public image is like carefully curated and crafted by professionals, you know?
Yeah, and I think also sometimes it's crafted by their characters.
So I didn't meet this person like face-to-face individually, but I went to a convention where Matt Smith, who is an actor, he played Doctor Who. He also played Prince Philip on The Crown.
Okay.
He's a very, very good actor, but apparently he's kind of an a-hole.
Yeah. Well, that
like
happens.
in real life. So he kind of like showed up super late. There were thousands of people waiting to get into this like panel where he was speaking at this convention. And he showed up super late. He had been out partying the night before, and he came in like so obviously hungover. And it was just like really disrespectful to all these people that had waited. And they were so excited to see him and everything. And he just like didn't give a fuck. So
human being.
Disappointing.
That's the thing, though. It might be disappointing, but he's a human being. And that's what I always try to remember that, especially like you got to give grace. We've all been hungover, and then we don't have to go and sit in front of a bunch of our fans.
Exactly. So, and I don't know what's going on individually or how he was doing that day. There could have been some reason that he just wasn't doing well.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, when you build someone up in your head to be this perfect thing, they're always going to disappoint you because everybody is human. Another example is on Community, where Troy, played by Donald Glover, Troy is obsessed with LeVar Burton, who was also on Star Trek and played Geordie LaForge. But he was, perhaps even more fundamental to my fandom of him, he was on Reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
And so, when Troy Barnes meets him, LeVar Burton is himself, his wonderful self. And Troy Barnes just, freezes up and, freaks out and cannot function as a person. Because he's so, excited to meet LeVar Burton.
Well, I would be too. LeVar Burton was also.
I know.
LeVar Burton was also on Big Bang Theory.
I bet he was. He's such a good dude.
So Wesley Crusher was played by Will Wheaton.
Okay, yeah.
And
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton was, curse you, Will Wheaton, was what Sheldon said, because he got on the bus as a child with his Will Wheaton Wesley Crusher doll figure and rode the bus.
Wesley Crusher.
And rode the bus to get the autograph on the Wesley Crusher doll. And Will Wheaton didn't show up. And when he met Will Wheaton, he was like, "You are amongst my mortal enemies." And Will was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. My Nana died that day." And Sheldon was like, "Oh, no, not your Nana." And he forgave him. And then he found out it was a lie.
Real good reason.
It wasn't a good reason. It was a lie.
Oh, he made it up?
His Nana didn't die.
That's funny. Probably the most famous case of a parasocial relationship that went wrong is Jodie Foster.
Yeah, the Jodie Foster thing, it was a little more complex because John Hinckley had a condition called erotomania, which leads a person to believe someone else is obsessed with them. So he developed a parasocial relationship with a character played by Foster when she was a child. Hinckley related a little bit too much to Robert De Niro's character, who was trying to save Jodie Foster's character. She played a child prostitute, and I don't like the word child prostitute, but I didn't know what to replace it with because you can't be a child and a prostitute.
Yeah. I would say that she was she was sex trafficked.
She was probably a victim of
a sex trafficking victim.
Yes, but they called her in the movie child prostitute. Robert De Niro's character was trying to save her from a senator who was running for president, which totally tracks. First, he started following Jimmy Carter around when he was president. And then, after he saw how easy it was to get within mere feet of the president. Now, he did get arrested when he was testing, when he got real close to President Carter at the Nashville International Airport. So when he got out of jail, Ronald Reagan had become president. And since he had such an easy time getting close to Jimmy Carter, he just went ahead and shot Ronald Reagan. Yeah. All because of his parasocial relationship.
Something built up in his head. In 2006, researchers David Giles and John Maltby classified parasocial relationships into 3 subcategories: entertainment social, intense personal, and borderline pathological.
Entertainment social. This is like normal fans. You read about them, you might talk about them, you might even join a fan club or something like that.
Yeah, that's not too weird. Intense personal. This is like a few doors down from Celebrity Crush. You know it's not real, but you can't help feeling like this person is your soulmate, and you might worship or even spend way too much time trying to get their attention on social media, and you're just kind of thinking, oh, if I could only just meet them, then they would realize that we should be together.
I still feel that a little bit about Simon.
I feel that way a little bit about Keanu.
Yeah. He got married.
That's fine. So did I.
Right. Borderline pathological. In these situations, a person can no longer control their thoughts, feelings, or in some cases, their behavior. A borderline pathological parasocial relationship may lead to stalking or even violence, like the Jodie Foster thing or the stalkers of Kendall Jenner and Lily Allen, both of whom felt like it was their right just to break into their homes.
Mm-hmm.
Rebecca Schaefer. Now, you're probably too young to remember a TV show called My Sister Sam. It was short-lived. I remember Rebecca Schaefer. I remember her face because she had really curly hair. She was beautiful and she stood out, and then all of a sudden she was gone. So she was an up-and-coming actress in 1989, and she was shot and killed at 21 years old by a fan.
Jeez.
He had a history of obsessing over stars. He obsessed over Tiffany and Debbie Gibson, as well as Madonna. So that's the timeline right there is the 80s. But Rebecca actually answered one of his fan letters. Like, she wrote him back.
Okay.
And so it seems like he felt like there was an actual relationship there. So he went to her house. He showed her that she had contacted him. He showed her the letter and an autograph that she had sent in reply to his fan mail. So she asked him to leave and not to come back, that this was not appropriate. So he left. Apparently he went and had some lunch, came back about an hour later and knocked on the door again. She was unhappy to see him, and so he shot her in the chest and she died.
Jesus.
I remember finding out about this years later and seeing her face and being like, oh, I wondered for years what happened to her because I thought she was going to be somebody in Hollywood. Like, I thought she was going to, because I thought she was gorgeous. I remember liking My Sister Sam. And I, like I said, didn't know about this until years later. So when you brought up parasocial relationships and I started Googling it, I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, Rebecca Schaefer.
Yeah. That's messed up. That's really sad. So also from 15 Parasocial Relationships Examples, written by Dave Cornell, PhD, from January 3rd of 2024, we have a little chart here. Parasocial relationships can have both benefits and harms.
Right. They can provide a sense of companionship and connection with media personalities who are positive role models for youths during a vulnerable time in life.
Like Taylor Swift. They can also lead to feelings of loneliness or social isolation if the individual invests more time and energy into the parasocial relationship than in their real life relationships. That's the point where it starts to get messy.
Yep. Sometimes they can provide comfort and escape from real life problems or stressors, especially for young people struggling socially at school.
Or for people who are just desperate for anything to think about besides the news, like me.
Yeah.
Did you know that Taylor Swift has a new album coming out on October 3rd?
I heard something about that, yeah.
Yeah, you may have heard about that. And they can also lead to unrealistic expectations or beliefs about the media personality or fictional character, and can result in disappointment or disillusionment when the personality does not reciprocate.
Yep.
Because they don't know you.
Yep.
These relationships can inspire and motivate individuals to pursue personal goals or passions, especially if they aspire to be like the role model or if the role model gives sound advice to their fans. If it inspires you to start writing songs because you're a fan of a musician, great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. But they can lead to a loss of personal identity or individuality, as the individual may adopt the beliefs, attitudes, or behaviors of the media personality or even of the fictional character unquestioningly. And I mean, you don't really know these people's actual beliefs, attitudes, or behaviors. So that's that's dangerous because you're treading on some shaky ground there if you're adopting behaviors that you just assume are these people's.
Yeah. And if you're making it your whole personality to be a fan of them or whatever, that's not great.
Exactly. That's one of the things about that band that I like. It's like these people seem like they're making it their entire personality, like MAGA. Parasocial relationships can be a source of entertainment and enjoyment, especially if the fan realizes that the relationship is just for fun and does not let it affect their personality or decision-making skills.
Yeah, absolutely. But they can become obsessive or compulsive and interfere with daily functioning or responsibilities. So, if you are just constantly refreshing some Instagram because you need to know what this person's doing instead of doing your job or studying, then maybe consider that might not be healthy for you.
Mm-hmm. They can foster a sense of community and belonging among individuals who share similar interests or fandoms, leading to real-life friendships among fan groups on forums such as Reddit or Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. And it's fine. It's great. It's wonderful to make friends with people who have similar interests as you.
If you have something in common,
as long as you're not going to team up and go do something stupid.
They can contribute to the objectification and commodification of media personalities or fictional characters, which may cause harm to the personality themselves. So objectification and commodification are just not good things to apply to a person.
What is commodification?
That is when a person is turned into a product, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They make them into a commodity. I get it. All right.
Yeah.
Healthy parasocial relationships can be a source of inspiration for creativity, such as fan fiction, fan art, or cosplay. I am all for cosplay. I think it's rad. I love to see it.
See, you're a nerd. It's
love
fine.
to see it. I've never done it, but I do Halloween every year. But I love to see cosplay. I think those people, the people who could put together those costumes out of like some sticks they gathered in the woods, it's amazing to me.
Sticks they gathered in the woods. It's more like you have an entire garage full of supplies and you taught yourself how to weld.
I love that. I just want to learn how to sew.
Yeah.
I just want to make concert T-shirts that are made for men fit me snug.
There you go.
Because they used to do girls cut T-shirts, and now I guess that's a bad thing.
I don't know. I see them sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, unhealthy parasocial relationships can lead to boundary violations or inappropriate behavior, and may even lead to real-life harm to the personalities, like what happened with Rebecca Schaeffer, which I didn't even know anything about, and that's fucked up.
And I'm guessing it's not the first time. I think celebrities didn't a fan kill John Lennon?
Yeah, I think so.
Been some movies about relationships like this. I knew about two of them. I've never heard of the first one. Ingrid Goes West was in 2017, and it was a movie about a mentally unstable fan played by Aubrey Plaza, who's hilarious, of an influencer played by Elizabeth Olsen. Moves to the West Coast determined to become the influencer's friend. She succeeds for a time, but things start to unravel quickly. Olsen's seemingly perfect life isn't perfect at all. Never meet your heroes.
Shocking.
And Plaza's mental health deteriorates fast. This film shows a new form of media persona, not a musician or actor or athlete, but of a real person and how that works with followers turned fans.
Because musicians and actors and athletes aren't real people, I
They're
guess,
all
according to
real
that blurb.
people. Yeah, I don't know what that... Well, I think it just means wording, right? Wording. So I think it just means regular people.
Yeah.
Which they're also
but
just
still, an influencer is a... Anyway, this one I have heard of and I have not seen, but I am familiar with. It's Misery from 1990. A famous writer gets into a car accident in the middle of nowhere. Luckily for him, his biggest fan lives nearby and offers to help him get better. But then things turn from bad to worse. This novel turned film portrays obsession in the worst possible way, and no one is left unscathed. And Kathy Bates is terrifying in a great way.
Yes, absolutely. Nurse Betty in 2000. It was a comedy which shows a woman played by Renee Zellweger. She becomes delusional after witnessing her husband's murder. She copes by believing her favorite soap opera is real and goes to meet her crush, the handsome Dr. David Ravel. But really, it's just an actor playing a doctor, and here it is played by Greg Kinnear. This film is more than just about fans. It is a cat and mouse game, but it does show how people use media to cope with trauma and the consequences that might happen when you do so.
Very interesting.
This is a very interesting topic, I think, and there's a fine line too between
for sure
the good parts of parasocial relationships and the super creepy.
And like you were saying, I have made some friends because I had fandom in common with them. Like, oh, you like this band? I like this band too.
Yeah.
And that's enough to like start a conversation and make friends with people. Cosplay, all the nerd shit, like going to conventions and making friends with people who like the same nerdy show as you. Like that's camaraderie. That's beautiful. But you just have to know where the line is.
Well, I know you always do the vocab word, but I came across...
Yeah, but you found such a good one.
In this research, I came across this word, and I have used that before, like you were saying, when you find people, you find your tribe or whatever, you find the people who like the same things as you. Homophily in psychology is the tendency for people to seek out or be attracted to those who are similar to themselves. Homophily by gender was common in most groups. Homophily can lead to the fragmentation of societies, so it can be both good and bad, because homophily can also lead to things like eugenics. But it also, because people who are attracted to those who are similar to themselves. But homophily can be good and bad. It's like when you walk into a room and you scan the room for the person who might be the most similar to you or the most interesting to you.
Thanks so much for doing all this research. I just showed up and read the script. And I think you crushed it. Do we think that parasocial relationships can be toxic? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They can be. You gotta keep some boundaries on it, guys. So there's that. Easy answer to that question.
Yeah.
All right. So that is our show for this week. Please be sure to join us next week when we will be talking about one of my favorite things in the world, found family. Our relationships to our chosen family. These are the people we choose to have in our lives, not necessarily related by blood.
Yeah, and if you have something to say or something you want to recommend, send us an email at contact@toxicwasteoftime.com.
Right. I hope this episode was not a toxic waste of your time. I sure learned a lot, and I hope you guys learned something too. We all need to take some time to consider how we are affected by our online and, otherwise celebrity type of relationships.
Yeah. All of it.
It can be intense. All right. Well, that's our show. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye.